Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Tanner. I haven't been on YouTube for a lot of years, but I had a few guys asking to see my truck on Tacoma World, so I was going to do a walk around and just kind of point out some mods I've done to it. I'll put a photo on screen when I go back and edit this, but I had the truck when it was completely stock, and I mean, since then I've done some things to it, obviously. I got the truck when I was 15 as a present, and then I've put pretty much all the other stuff on it by myself or with some buddies. So I'm gonna do a quick walk around, show you all the exterior, interior. I got a few interior mods as well, so we'll get to it. So first off, one of my favorite mods on this truck that I've done is these headlights. These are aftermarket headlights, of course. The first ones I had were just bug eyes kind of thing. Didn't look good in my opinion. I really like these headlights a lot. They got the daytime running light in there, so I just wired that up through the old side marker. And then of course they're high beam, low beam. And then I swapped over the original bulbs. So I mean, they're still halogens, but I don't really take the truck anywhere super dark or anything. We're usually in the city or whatever. So that's the headlights. Really like them though. And then hopefully in the description, I'll remember and I'll post all the links to everything where you can buy them. This is what the headlights look like on low beam with the running light. I really like how they look. It definitely got the look I was going for. Definitely looks much more updated than they used to. Overall, I've been very happy with them. No water leaks or anything like that. You can see they're still clear. I mean, it worked out the way I wanted them to work out. I know these get a lot of hate sometimes, but I do have a bull bar on my truck, as you can see. Put that one on. I bought off of Amazon for, I want to say, like 150 bucks. Put it on there. And the reason I still have it on is I actually kind of prefer the look without the bull bar, just the front bumper. I kept it on though. I went to the beach with a buddy and somebody backed the trailer into my front bumper, and the only thing that stopped it was the bull bar. So I'm not saying it's gonna like go through a tree, of course, but it did save my bumper before, so I'm gonna keep it on just for, you know, peace of mind kind of thing. So my grill itself has gone through a few different stages. To start off, it was chrome. Obviously I didn't really like the chrome when I first had it, because when you're 15 you don't really like anything to be shiny, I guess. So then I took some black plasti dip and plasti dipped it completely black. Still didn't really like the look of that, so eventually I went and color matched it, and I'm pretty happy with how the color match turned out. It definitely looks like OEM. I mean, you can see it lines up with the paint on the hood and the bumper pretty well. I will say it is probably a little bit lighter, but overall I really like how it looks and how it held up. I would like to get a 2011 TRD Sport grill with the hexacomb. It's the only year they made for these, but if I can ever find one for under 300, I'll definitely go pick it up and put it on the truck. So this is the next question I get a lot on forums and stuff, is what lift am I running, and wheel and tire setup. So we'll get into that right now. So in the front I am running spacers. I don't really need anything, like I said, that does anything crazy. This definitely works for me. I put them on with a buddy in about a day, so it wasn't too bad. It's just some work, and it was a good experience to learn how all that suspension component stuff works. Definitely glad I did it on my own. I have stock upper control arms, haven't needed anything else upgraded. It hasn't bothered me a bit. I will say the ride quality is obviously not the best because I've compressed the suspension 3 inches. But overall, I mean, I'm pretty happy with them. Obviously, it doesn't ride like a Cadillac, but I don't really need it to ride like a Cadillac. So I'm pretty happy with how these turned out, and would definitely recommend them to somebody that needs a lift and doesn't want to break the bank for it. To go along with the lift, obviously I needed some bigger tires and some wheels. So I actually went and got these Pro Comp wheels. I found a guy on Facebook Marketplace. He was selling them. He had a Tacoma. He didn't really like them because they took down his gas mileage a little bit. So I went and picked them up off of him. They fit really well. The only thing is it does get very close to the caliper, as you can see right there, which is kind of freaky. But overall, haven't had any rubbing issues or anything like that on the caliper. So they worked out for me. I really like the bullet hole look. I don't really like the deep dish flashy wheels that much. I like more small wheels, big tire kind of look. So I mean, I've been pretty happy with how it looks right now. And then obviously paired with that, if you can't read, is the Hankook Dynapro ATMs. They're kind of a mix between an all-terrain and a mud terrain kind of vibe. I mean, I haven't really sunk it in a mud hole or anything, but they definitely get me better grip than my other ones I had on here did. Overall, they look pretty good in my opinion. They're not super wide or anything like that. I think they're only like -12 offset or something. But I've been pretty happy with them. Like I said, they've been pretty good tires so far. I definitely like how the look is and how much they just poke out. I just think that's the right amount for a Tacoma. Next thing's gonna be this bug guard by WeatherTech. Been super happy with it. I don't know if it really works, but to me, maybe it's placebo effect, but I do actually feel like it has. Definitely don't have as much bug splatter on my windshield. But like I said, it could just be a placebo effect, but I also really like the look. I just think it gives it kind of more of an aggressive appearance. Next thing is going to be my window tint. I am running some pretty dark window tint. Where I'm at, we don't really have cops that care about it. I don't really ever hear of anybody getting a window tint like violation ticket or anything like that. On the windshield, I don't actually have anything. Maybe I'm thinking of running like 30-35% on the shield, but right now all I have is 5 on the front and then 5 over 35 on the back. The back is super dark. The front, I mean, it's 5%, so it's gonna be pretty dark. Obviously you can't see in, but I'm happy with it. I drive it around at night, don't have any problems. Every once in a while I'll stick a window down if I'm trying to like merge onto the freeway or something, but I mean, I just think it looks a lot better to have that blacked out. I would eventually like to upgrade these mirrors to the 4Runner mirrors from this year model and have it color matched and all clean with the little turn signal bar. I think those look pretty good. Maybe in the future, probably not within the next 6 months to a year though. And obviously when you darken up your sides, it is gonna darken up the windshield a little bit because there's no light going in. So, I mean, you can barely see through anyways. I mean, it's not like bright daylight out here, but you're driving down the road, not a whole lot of people can see through the windshield as is. But I would like to darken that up as well in the future. I don't know if I mentioned it, guys, but these are also 16-inch wheels for the stock height. And I think they're only like an inch wider or something like that. Nothing crazy. But like I said, I am very happy with them. Really like how they look. Probably won't be going anywhere in the future. Next thing I'm going to talk about, guys, are these running boards. I found these on Facebook Marketplace. A guy had them on a TRD Sport 2013 Tacoma. We pulled them off. I think I gave him $100 for them. They were rusted all the way through. As you can see, I mean, there's still some bubbles on there. But I just took a wire brush to them for about 3 days and then spray painted over them. Overall, they look pretty good. I like how sturdy they are. They're pretty sturdy. I mean, you can push on them. They don't move or anything like that. It got me the look I was going for. And if my grandma ever gets in my truck, she can't really get in it now that's lifted. So those definitely help out. And that's, if I didn't have them on, I don't know if she'd be able to get up and in and out of it in a timely manner. So I'm very happy with those. So a lot of my badges are plasti dipped. On the front grille, that one's plasti dipped if you didn't see. On the sides, they're plasti dipped. Me and my buddies used to plasti dip a lot of stuff when we were like, you know, 15, 16, just like all the other 15, 16-year-olds. You want to do something to the truck, but you don't have a whole lot of money, so you do stuff like that. And then I just have the Toyota one on the back, also blacked out just to match. And now I just left the other ones chrome. I'm happy with it. I mean, it's not much of a mod, but it was something to do when we didn't have anything else to do in the summertime. When we, like I said, when we were like 15, 16. So I just left it on there. At least it's a little piece of memories and that kind of thing. Good times with some good friends. I have blacked out my taillights. This is the second time I blacked it out because they do start going more red. As you can see, that one is already kind of going red, and same on the other side. I got the VHT spray, and like I said, the cops around here are pretty chill about that kind of thing, so I haven't ran into any issues with it. In the very near future, I am looking to get the Alpha Lux series lights, and I think that will definitely upgrade the look of the truck and make everything just look a whole lot newer. But I've been happy so far for the last 2 years I've had them like this. I mean, I haven't run into any problems or anything, so I would definitely do it again if I had to. In my bed, I do have a Tacoma bed mat. I think it was near $200 on Amazon when I picked it up. It just keeps things from sliding around in the back, so I can put fish and stuff back here and not have to worry about it. But it definitely makes it look a little bit better. I have also painted the entire inside of my bed. You can't really tell, but the previous owner of this truck, he did spill white paint in the bed, so I just went back over it with some black paint, touched everything up, and it just looks like factory now. So definitely happy with that. Also, of course, you can see that I have a little toolbox in the back. Nothing crazy, just your average kind of thing. So one of the things a lot of people ask about on my truck is the exhaust. I just have this exhaust tip right here, which is just like a generic kind of AutoZone exhaust tip kind of thing. On the actual muffler, though, I do have like a straight through kind of muffler. You can kind of see it right there. I don't really know what you would call it because it is a custom muffler that I got with the exhaust shop, and we kind of came up with something and they welded it and all that good stuff. It's nothing crazy. It's just your average straight through muffler. It's not loud or anything, but I like how it sounds, and I'll give you all a good little exhaust clip that I have of that. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but in the rear, I'm just running some blocks. You can see those right there on my leaf springs with the longer U-bolts. I actually had a shop put those on just because it was more time efficient, but it's just blocks and U-bolts in the back, nothing crazy. Like I said, it doesn't ride the best, but it also gets me the look I want and kind of the ride quality that I was kind of looking for. So it doesn't really matter to me. I know a lot of people hate on blocks and spacers, but I'm happy with how everything turned out so far. So guys, that's pretty much it for the exterior of the truck. I'm going to talk about the interior for a minute and kind of show y'all things going on in here. There is quite a few different little modifications, so I'll run y'all through it. I apologize in advance. My truck is not clean right now. I'm actually going to take it to the car wash after this, clean things up for a little bit. So the first thing that I did in here is I got some Cabela seat covers. These are waterproof and nail proof for dogs, so I can put my dog in here or do whatever I want to do, because I do often carry my dog in here. I really like these because my seats underneath these are perfect when I got it, and I didn't want to ruin something that was, I mean, from the factory, it just looked really good and they kept it nice, so I don't want to ruin that, so I went ahead and put these on. If the seats underneath were like torn or something, I may not have, but I do like how these look. And I mean, like I said, it performs well for the money. I think I paid close to $200 for those, but overall, very happy with them. Also am running the normal Tacoma floor mats that comes from the factory. Nothing crazy, but like I said, hopefully in the future I can get some more WeatherTech stuff. I'm big on WeatherTech. As you can see, I don't know if I hit this part, but I do have the rain guards as well, and I'm pretty happy with that. That is a WeatherTech product. But so far, very happy with the WeatherTech stuff that I have purchased. They've done very well, and I would definitely recommend those to anybody. Like I said, when I was young, we plasti dip stuff, so I plasti dip my little pieces right here. This all will peel off in the future if I ever decide to sell the truck or if I just don't like it anymore. But it's a little piece of history to me. I don't think it's going anywhere. It's kind of funny. A lot of people kind of joke about it because, I mean, we were young when we did it, and it's just something fun to do. My truck is at 103,000 miles currently. When I got it, it was at 66,000. So I've put, 40,000 miles on it almost. All 40,000 miles, never had really many problems. Very happy with how everything's going so far though. One of the biggest interior mods I did was this touchscreen head unit. Very, very pleased with this. It's by Pioneer. I took it to Best Buy, they installed it. It got this little trim piece, so it all looks like OEM factory, except now it has the head unit. To pair that, I do have two 12-inch subwoofers in the back made by Kicker, and I do have a 2,500 watt amp powering that. With this head unit and those subwoofers, I mean, it really just, it makes everything a lot better on the interior. It's much more fun. I mean, you can really get the sound that I wanted. The stereo in this with the bass wasn't the best when I first had it. So this definitely upgraded it, and pairing it with subwoofers definitely made everything a lot nicer in here. As you can see, it is kind of getting dark outside, but even with the 5% window tint, it's not too bad. I mean, it's still very manageable. Overall, it's definitely a good idea to get it if you're looking for some more privacy. So this was the next one, guys. Just a backup camera. Pretty happy with it so far. You can see it actually does have some decent clarity on it. But in the future, I would like to wire it into my actual head unit. That would be ideal. You can tap it in. I just haven't felt like pulling it back out yet. I'll probably do it as like a Saturday, Sunday project one of these days when I have nothing else to do, off work, that kind of thing. But I am very happy with the backup camera. Like I said, the clarity on it is very nice, and it's definitely better than backing up without one. But once I get it tapped into the actual head unit, it'll definitely make the feel of the truck just feel a whole lot more new and crisp and that kind of thing. So this is what the back of the truck looks like. Like I said, I did those little door handle things when I was younger, but this is what the back looks like. I'm pretty much just running a 3-seater because these are taken up by subs, and I don't really have a whole lot of people ride in here or anything. I don't have a whole lot of buddies that, you know, ride along with me. Everybody's driving their own cars and that kind of thing. So I don't really have to need to. If you had a little family or something, maybe this isn't ideal. But for right now, being 18 years old, it's a whole lot better than having no subs. So I'm going to run y'all through that real fast. Like I said, I have 2 Kicker Comp Rs or RTs or something like that. They hit pretty hard. I like them. It's a very shallow box. So if anything, I could tuck them under the seat or something like that maybe in the future. Paired up with that, I do have the 2,500 watt amp by Power Acoustic. Very happy with the amp so far. As you can see, I haven't hid the wires on it or anything. It's been like this for a long time now. But I am very happy with it. I have some wires running under the seat, and then that just runs up to the head unit and the battery. But back seats, you know, same seat covers, same Cabela seat covers. They do have that little slit so you could like pull out the middle if you really wanted to, but I've never had to do that. But that's pretty much the inside. There's not a whole lot done to it. I've tried to keep everything nice. The headliner on it is still in pretty much perfect condition, and overall, I just try to keep things as nice as I can and, you know, tastefully mod things as I go. So that's pretty much it, guys, for the truck. There's not a whole lot more mods on it, nothing really crazy or anything like that. I'm going to touch into some detail on some like little issues I've run into with the truck and that kind of thing. And we'll get into that kind of section of the video. So the first problem I ran into with my truck was the, when I first got it, the transmission was leaking fluid. Like it had a transmission fluid leak. So the dealership wanted, I think, $650 to fix it. We didn't do that, obviously. Me and my dad, we went and bought a $4 seal, dropped the drive shaft, and I mean, we just plugged it back in and we were good to go. But the problem came back, so I've had to do it twice now. It's really not that big of a deal, but just something to think about. Just kind of check on it every once in a while. So far, the leak hasn't come back, and it's been about a year. So hopefully it never comes back, but if it does, I mean, it's just a $4 seal. No big problem. You just got to have a little bit of mechanical knowledge to get up under there and know what you're doing. But it's a pretty good truck so far. Not really any major issues. Never had a motor problem or anything like that. But I'm going to touch into some things about the tires, because fitting 33s on a Tacoma is a big thing. That's kind of hard to do with how the fender liner works and stuff like that. So I'm going to run y'all through what I had to do to fit my 33s. So I don't really take my truck off-road, like I said, so I don't really have to do too much. I definitely didn't have to do the cab mount shop. I wasn't even close to it with these 33s. As you can see, I did actually have to trim out the fender liner and the stub that comes on these right there. I don't know if y'all can see that because my camera's not focusing, but right there I did have to do some light trimming. And then obviously I had to pull off the mud flaps because it was scrubbing on those. And then I just did some more light trimming right on that little corner right there. But overall, I mean, as you can see, it's not really rubbing on a whole lot in there. It's pretty clean underneath too, so you can see it's not really rubbing on much. But the cab mount definitely didn't have to chop anything like that. And I mean, that's pretty much it, guys. It didn't really take a whole lot of work to fit them on mine. But like I said, if I was doing some heavy off-road, like I know a lot of you like 4x4 guys do, take them over sand dunes or something crazy like that, I would definitely be more careful and definitely trim out a little bit more than I did. Backing up in reverse, if I turn the wheel all the way to the left so that tire goes all the way in on this side, I do need to trim it a little bit more because it just barely nicks. It just makes a lot of noise. It just hits that little corner right there. It just makes a lot of noise under there. The other side of the truck does not do it though. Don't know why. I guess I trimmed off a little bit more on that side. But in the future, I'll probably trim it off all the way just so the noise doesn't happen. It's not a big thing. I mean, it just takes it that much. But I mean, if somebody's in the truck and they don't know what's happening, it is kind of scary, I guess, if you don't know, but definitely not a big problem for me. All right, guys, well, that's pretty much it for me in the truck. I'm going to go probably take it to the car wash, so I'm going to do a quick drive with y'all just so you can hear how the exhaust sounds. I know I posted the rev clip earlier, but look at that little bunny. Sorry about that. Anyways, I know I posted the little rev clip earlier, but it definitely sounds a lot different when you're actually driving on the cabin and stuff. And I know a lot of people will be interested about that because a lot of people don't want to modify their exhaust and have a drone. So I'll run y'all through that real quick. All right, guys, now I'm inside the cab and I'm going to do a quick startup for y'all so y'all can hear that. And then we'll go cruise up and down the road real fast just so y'all can like listen to the exhaust and hear the RPMs and that whole thing. As you can tell, it's pretty quiet in here. On startup, it's nothing loud or raspy or anything like that. Overall, pretty good look. The screen takes a little second to boot up, but once it does, it's good to go. So I'm gonna go do that drive real quick, guys. I'm gonna flip a UE right here, guys, and then I'll give it a little bit of gas so y'all can hear it. As you can see, there's no tire scrub moving forwards or anything like that. That's pretty much full lock. I'm gonna give it a little bit of gas for you now. Like I said, it's not too raspy or anything. It's just about what I wanted my truck to sound like. I'm gonna take it down the road and actually get it up to speed, probably somewhere around 40 or so. That's probably where it drones the worst, but still to me, I don't hear it too bad. And I'm always playing music over my subs and stuff like that, so it doesn't bother me too much. But I'm gonna go get it up to 40 real fast and then I'll let y'all know. Here's the, another acceleration for y'all guys. And this is what it sounds like at 40. Like I said, it really doesn't drone that bad. I mean, you could have an easy conversation. I've taken onto the interstate countless amount of times. I did a 10-hour drive down to Florida with a buddy of mine, and we didn't run it. I mean, we barely even noticed it. It's really not loud. It doesn't drone much. It's a very clean sound for a Tacoma. I know it is hard to get that deep kind of sound with a lot of them, but with mine, I feel like I kind of figured it out with the exhaust. And I'll probably leave it how it is for a while because it doesn't get on my nerves. And if I went any louder, I might get kind of irritated by it. If y'all know who Desert Dime on YouTube is, I feel like my truck is kind of like the mini version of his. And if you've seen his truck, then you understand why. It kind of is the mini version. But with the 33s, I will tell you that you will get some worse gas mileage if you decide to go up to 33s. I average about 14 right now. If I'm just kind of, you know, just driving normal, driving easy, I get about 14. I have seen as low as 13 before. And then on the freeway and stuff, you might get 15, 16, but you really got to drive easy to get that gas mileage out of these with 33s. It doesn't get too happy about it. I daily drive a 2000 Honda Civic. I think it's the EX model or something like that. And it's got 90,000 miles. I daily drive that. It gets around 31 to 29. So I don't really worry about it. But if it is your daily driver, it's definitely something to think about. You'll definitely be getting worse gas mileage because I think from the factory these get about 20, 21, 22, somewhere right in there, which isn't horrible. So just something to think about if you decide to lift your truck and put some bigger tires on it. So I'll just put down my back right window real quick so we could really hear the exhaust, and then I'm going to give some gas because that is where my exhaust comes out at, is the back right. So I got that window down so you could really hear it. Once again, guys, this is my truck at 40 miles per hour, which this is where it definitely drones the most. And as you can see, it still doesn't drone too bad. I mean, you can really only barely hear it, and I've never had somebody complain or anything like that. I mean, you can barely even notice that it's there. If you don't get on it, you would honestly probably think that it's a stock exhaust. At one point, I was going to sell my truck, and I did have somebody that was going to purchase it, and when he test drove it, he didn't even say anything about it. I don't even think he noticed that it wasn't stock. So I mean, yeah, if you're gonna get an exhaust or something on a Tacoma, just be smart. Don't like straight pipe it, because obviously you'll get pretty raspy. But if you know what you're doing underneath, you can definitely get a good clean tone out of these with minimal money spent. I think it was like $100 to get mine done. It might not even be that much. It's really no big deal, but definitely worth it if that's something that you want to do. One other thing that I hear a lot is a lot of people think Tacomas are sluggish. I haven't ran into that with mine. Obviously, I have the 4.0, which is, in my opinion, the best powertrain setup they ever put into these. I definitely haven't noticed a lack of power with mine, even on 33s. I mean, it's still pretty peppy. I'm going to give it some gas right here after this little corner. There's a little bit of a straightaway, and then I'll let y'all decide. But to be a mid-sized truck, it's definitely not super slow or anything like that. I mean, it's not a slug or anything. Obviously, it's not going to be something like a sports car, but it definitely will pick up speed when you want it to. You won't have any problems like merging onto the highway or anything. And this is what it sounds like going uphill. Nothing crazy. Also, just kind of drones just that little bit. I actually kind of like how it sounds. I don't know. I don't really have any complaints with the exhaust. I really like how it sounds. Even the cold starts are pretty good to me. So I'm happy with how it sounds overall. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate y'all watching the video. That's probably going to be it for this one. If you have any questions about running 33s or running a spacer lift or the exhaust, or you just have any questions in general, I know a lot about these. I've been around a lot of people that own Tacomas, and I've read into it a lot over the last 3 years. Like I said, it was my first truck, so I was, super excited to get it and did a lot of research and that kind of thing. And just working on the truck, I've picked up some good notes and all that good stuff. So if y'all have any questions about my truck, or maybe you're modding your own and you have a question, just drop in the comments. You can follow my Instagram, DM me over there. And that's pretty much it, guys. But I appreciate y'all watching the video. Hope y'all have a wonderful rest of y'all's day. And remember to always follow the good Lord, because without the good Lord, we never have things to play with like this. Obviously, we don't need nice stuff, but he lets us have it anyway. So just make sure you always pray and follow the good Lord, and y'all take it easy.